2.5 fucking hours of complete shite. I haven't been this let down by anything since my dad said he'd stopped drinking. Seriously, this movie, a movie which features two of the greatest icons of popular fiction on the cinema screen for the first time, is so underwhelming, so narratively broken, and so badly put together, it's practically incomprehensible. It's a movie that somehow manages to paradoxically reek of both too much effort and at the same time complete laziness. It's dripping from every orifice with imagery that probably cost more than a small country to produce, but that means fuck all when you consider that the narrative connecting them all reads like bad fan fiction put together by a squirrel chewing through the comics The Dark Knight Returns and Death of Superman before regurgitating them into a hideous Frankenstein-like messy amalgamation of the two held together by dog shite for glue. Want a spoiler-free review? Don't go see it. It's taken all of the worst traits of superhero movies and cooked them all together in order to make a bad film sandwich, where the bread is substanceless sequel bait and the filling is substanceless shit. It's awkward. Awkwardly acted, awkwardly edited, and awkwardly presented. I have legitimately no idea who this movie is for. Fans will hate it because it tears all of the iconic scenes they love and replicates them without any of the meaningful context that made those moments so enjoyable in the first place. And non-fans will hate it because it's so concentrated on saturating its entire ridiculously long runtime with so many references and characters that mean absolutely nothing to them that it forgets to even try to be a movie. In my opinion, that's all you need to know about this absolute disaster, but if you want to stick around, I'll be going into spoiler territory now. That said, if you've seen the latest trailer for this rubbish, you already know absolutely everything that happens. And to be quite frank, I can't really spoil the experience for you anyway. That would imply there was something to ruin. Now, the film starts off perfectly fine. Nothing amazing, but nothing offensive. It opens with the murder of the Wayne family, which admittedly is something we've seen far too many times by now in other media, but whatever. This very quickly gives us our new Batman, portrayed by Ben Affleck. A man whose casting was extremely polarising when the news broke, to the point where it entered meme culture, as fans everywhere expressed their deepest outrage that a buff rich white guy was cast as a buff rich white guy. Guess what? This fella right here is the sole redeeming quality of the entire movie. His Batman character is horrendous, but his performance is not, which by default makes him the strongest part of the whole production since he has something to actually like. The movie continues for the next 5 minutes or so without any real hiccups, aside from one part where Wayne Tower wouldn't evacuate unless Bruce Wayne seemingly gave them permission to save their own lives. But whatever. Anyway, the opening uses the wanton destruction of Superman's fight with Zod from the last movie as the catalyst for all of Batman's motivation to take him on. Great stuff. This narrative device addresses some of the problems I had with the first movie and gives us the admittedly striking image of Bruce Wayne running into the chaos as everyone else runs out. A great opening moment. And then it happens. After this, we get a skip forward in time by 2 years and the entire picture starts to fall apart at the seams. All 2.5 fucking hours of it. We cut to a desert gunfight with Superman. No, wait, we're with this senator lady. Apparently this is a political thriller now. Hang on, he has Lex. Okay, Batman's stopping some sex trafficking. Oh, forget about all that though. He has a dude in a wheelchair vandalizing a Superman statue. Lex has Zod's body? No, wait, forget about that. He has a Batman dream sequence that does nothing but recap the start of the movie. Hey look, Wonder Woman. 3 lines from her, and we're gone again. Oh, Superman montage with Christ symbolism that makes Kanye look fucking subtle. Oh look, another dream sequence. Batman's got an alternate costume and he's in the desert and there's flying aliens and Superman Nazis. Never mind, he's woken up now to the anguished screams of a face hanging out of a portal in his lab. What the fuck is going on? Oh, wait, that was a dream too? So he woke up from a dream he was dreaming about? Is this fucking Inception? The opening hour of this thing throws so much shit at you that it gets to a point where when it's rapidly cutting from scene to scene like a child with ADHD, it doesn't even have room for establishing shots, making it hard to follow. That's like filmmaking 101. What's even more insane is that it has no remote need to be anywhere this contrived. The entire plot, without all of the surrounding mess, can be summed up in a few lines. Batman and Superman don't like each other. Except then they do. The end. Also Wonder Woman. I sound like I'm joking, but there's really not much more substance to it than that. Though the movie does try to disguise this with pseudo-complex and dull political intrigue as Lois Lane slowly investigates a bullet that turns out to be connected to Lex Luthor, the villain, and we get some other stuff where people sit around making painfully on-the-nose commentary about the politics of Superman, but it still doesn't change the fact that characters are inconsistent, motivations are loose or non-existent, and ultimately the film never comes close to getting you to care about any of it before haphazardly slapping on a big explosive CG finale. None of it makes any sense. Look at Lex Luthor, for example. Let's just break down his plan. So Lex is geet, right, I didn't like that Superman lad. Don't know why, just didn't like him. Think he could hurt people, you know? He's just a bad dude. So I'm gonna stop him hurting people. What can I do? Got it. Let's get a disabled man to be a bomb and blow up a room full of civilians. That'll protect these people from that menace. Okay, that hasn't worked. So let's kidnap his mum and burn her alive if he doesn't bring me Batman's head. Hang on, wait. Was it Batman or Superman I didn't like? I can't remember. Have I even met Batman at this point? Oh, fuck it. Who cares? Let's just make a big fuck-off monster and it'll kill everyone. Problem sorted. That was the initial goal, wasn't it? Aye, sounds about right. I didn't fucking care anymore. Give us Zod's body, I'll hide it in some weird magical unexplained alien pool thing that I know how to work for some reason. I'll cut me hand, give him a little blood moustache with it. There you go, Zoddy babes. And I know it hasn't been explained, but trust us, this will definitely make him into some giant pale orc looking motherfucker. I mean, I don't see why it wouldn't really. This isn't even to mention the horrendously obnoxious performance Jesse Eisenberg gives as Lex. Jesse mate, I love you lad. You're an absolute treasure, but pack it in with this fucking weird bad Doctor Who meets Joker knockoff thing you got going. It's not a good look, mate. Everything that comes out of your mouth is trying so hard to scream, look at me, I'm wacky, whoa, crazy Lex, what's he gonna do next? And it gets so annoying so quickly. I'm not complaining that it's a very different interpretation of an established character. I'm fine with reimaginings. I just prefer it if the new interpretations aren't shit. Batman in this film suffers the exact same fate. Although he's at least held together by a good performance, his character's crap. He has issues with Superman being above the law, yet he tortures and kills criminals left, right and centre. And his hypocrisy is never brought to the forefront of any narrative conflict in the movie, which makes it seem like a complete oversight. Again, I'm not being elitist complaining he's different from his standard comic book portrayal. Hell, if you're writing Batman and you want to make him a ruthless killer, then go for it. But only if you're going to do something interesting with that. For comparison, no spoilers here, but look at how they explore the ethics of Frank Castle in Daredevil Season 2, who, for all intents and purposes, is pretty similar to this Batman. His moral code is central to his narrative. When he kills, it's done as an exploration of his ideologies, and he's a compelling and thought-provoking entity that acts as an exploration of the extremism of personal ethics and morality. When Batman kills, it's 'cause it's badass. Ugh, I hate that word. Badass. Can we repossess it? 'Cause you know who was legitimately badass? Rambo. Know why? Because he fucking cries. He shows emotion and vulnerability. That's hard. That's a challenge. That's badass. It doesn't take effort to scowl and punch. Think about what you're saying when you say something is badass. What you're really saying is, oh, I love that bit with the masculinity. But you wouldn't say that, would you? Because that implies you want to fuck Batman. That's what you're really saying, you know. You're saying, I want to fuck Batman. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'd probably fuck Batman. Just be man enough to admit it. In terms of other characters, we got Wonder Woman, and oh my fucking god, where do I even start with Wonder Woman? She's barely a person. She seemingly only exists to look good in trailers and be a walking advert. There's literally a scene where, I'm not shitting you, they basically set up the entire Justice League via email. It's the laziest thing I've ever seen, and my housemate once got pizza delivered from the shop next door. In the scene, Batman drops Wonder Woman an email. Fuck's sake. Full of video clips of all the upcoming characters in future films, and Wonder Woman becomes a sodding teaser as she watches through all of them for about 2 minutes. It's shameless. Superman, meanwhile, is just boring. So much time is taken away from him in his own movie to promote shit. that they forget to have him do anything besides appear where he's asked to, save Lois Lane, and die. There's a moment just before his demise that tries to get a big emotional hit when Superman turns to Lois and says, "I love you." And I was like, do you? Are you fucking sure about that there, Clocky lad? Because I've seen no time spent on building chemistry between you two, Captain Cardboard. The logic of his and Batman's relationship is stupid as shit too. They despise each other. It comes to blows in an overly stylized fight with no grit or gravity, and then Bat's got Superman pinned down and he's all, "Here, lad, I got you now. I'm gonna kill you, you little twat." Then Superman's geet, "Yeah, you know my mum's name is Martha." And then Batman's all, "Whoa, sorry there, mate. I didn't realise our mums had the same name, like. Oh, we're besties now." No! If you're gonna halt a blood feud, it has to be for a better reason than that. By the time you get to this point in the film, you're exhausted and praying for it to be over. But no, it's 2.5 fucking hours. And you still got another sodding 40 minutes because they want to shoehorn in Doomsday at the end. And Doomsday just, oh, fucking hell. He's just the epitome of what I mean when I said earlier. I don't know who this is for. If you enjoyed Death of Superman, his origin story in this is so butchered with Luthor's shitty blood mustache on Zod thing that you'll be instantly put off. And if you aren't a fan and you've never heard of Doomsday, then his appearance means nothing. He's just a big grey CG gorilla. And the first thing he does is have his punch blocked by Superman. Great. What a crazy exciting new threat this is. Sure, he goes on to kill Superman, but the level of danger he presents throughout the climactic battle is so inconsistent he has no gravitas. I'm not even scratching the surface of how much this movie just monumentally fails in every aspect, but if I went through scene by scene, I'd be here forever. The first half is misguided gibberish, the second half is contextless, brainless punch-ups, and the epilogue goes on for fucking ever, making it feel like Superman has about 27 funerals until the credits finally roll, Zack Snyder wanks off with the money you just paid for your ticket, and you realise you just wasted 2.5 fucking hours!